Good morning. Welcome to News for Hearing Impaired. I am Anil Thomas. With me, Sonia, this morning. First up, the headlines. Government closely monitoring the novel coronavirus situation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciates Wuhan rescue operation personnel of Air India and Ministry of Health. High-level group of ministers review current status for prevention and management. Death toll in China crosses the 1300 mark. President of Portugal Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. Several agreements in various fields are expected to be signed between the two countries. Nation remembers martyrs of Pulwama terror attack on its first anniversary. Tributes to be paid at the War Memorial in Litpura camp today. 40 Jawans were martyred in the dastardly attack on CRPF convoy in Pulwama. Absconding bookie Sanjeev Chawla brought back to India by Delhi Police's crime branch. Delhi court sends Chawla to 12-day police custody for further questioning. Chawla allegedly conspired with South African captain Hansie Cronje to fix cricket matches in the year 2000. In international news, the US Senate passes legislation restricting the President Donald Trump's ability to wage war against Iran. 8 of Trump's fellow Republicans joined Democrats to pass the war orders resolution by 55 to 45 votes, requiring Trump to remove US troops engaged in hostilities against Iran. In sports, India's national men's hockey team captain Manpreet Singh becomes the first Indian to win the International Hockey Federation's Player of the Year award. Netherlands' Ewa de Gouda crowned the Women's Player of the Year. And now for the stories in detail. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised Wuhan rescue operation who conducted the evacuation operation of the stranded Indians in Wuhan. Prime Minister has issued a letter of appreciation to the team members of the evacuation operations. This letter would be handed over to the crew by the Minister of State for Civil Aviation. Air India had conducted an emergency evacuation operation from the Wuhan city, which is the epicenter of the widely spreading novel coronavirus flu. Despite being aware of the severe situation in the region, the Air India sent 2 B747 aircraft with teams of Air India as well as teams from the Ministry of Health for 2 consecutive days, that is the 31st of January and on the 1st of February, returning the next day. Government is fully prepared through its various timely measures and sturdy systems of surveillance to prevent and contain the outbreak of the novel coronavirus in India. On Thursday, a high-level group of ministers reviewed the current status and actions for prevention and management of the novel coronavirus in New Delhi. The meeting was attended by Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan, along with External Affairs Minister, Civil Aviation Minister, Minister of State for Home and Shipping. At the meeting, Dr. Harsh Vardhan stated that the rapid response teams have been trained in all states for managing emergencies due to the high-risk pathogens. Meanwhile, the Indian Embassy in Japan has said the condition of 2 Indian crew infected with the novel coronavirus on board a cruise ship off the Japanese coast is stable and improving. It said they will be put to another round of tests in the next few days and further treatment will be carried out based on the results. China's death toll reached 1,367 as of the end of Wednesday. Across mainland China, there were 15,152 new confirmed infections, bringing the total number to 59,805 people. Hubei province, where the virus is believed to have originated, accounted for 242 of them and confirmed 14,840 new cases. Outside China, there has been 2 deaths and 447 cases in 24 countries. Meanwhile, the number of cases and deaths jumped sharply on Thursday, with authorities changing the way they keep track of the disease, and not primarily because of any change in the shape of the outbreak. Experts believe the new approach should catch many cases that have been missed so far. That will allow more patients to get treatment and be quarantined faster. WHO has said a sharp rise in the reported coronavirus cases in China due to a change in counting methods did not represent a big shift in the epidemic. At a press conference, the head of WHO's health emergency programs, Michael Ryan, said this does not represent a significant change in the trajectory of the outbreak. Portuguese President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. Both sides will hold delegation-level talks and are expected to ink several agreements at Hyderabad House. The visiting president will also meet President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rebelo, who is in New Delhi on a 4-day state visit to India, will be accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan first up in the morning, followed by a visit to Rajghat. This is President Marcelo's first visit to India. The last visit by a president of Portugal to India was in 2007. Well, nation remembers the martyrs of the gruesome Pulwama terror attack that killed 40 CRPF jawans on its first anniversary. Senior officers and other force personnel will pay homage to the fallen jawans in the CRPF training center in Lalitpura in Pulwama. On February 14, 2019, a Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist rammed explosive-filled vehicle on a bus ferrying CRPF jawans. The bus was part of the CRPF convoy. A Delhi court on Thursday sent Sanjeev Chawla, an alleged bookie and accused of match fixing, to 12-day police custody. Chawla, the key accused in one of cricket's biggest match fixing scandals that involved former South African captain late Hansie Cronje, was produced before the court. Delhi police had sought a 14-day custodial interrogation of Chawla, who was extradited from London yesterday, as he is to be taken to various places in order to unearth a larger conspiracy. Chawla is alleged to have played a central role in conspiring with Cronje to fix South African tour to India in February-March 2000. Senior bureaucrat Rajiv Bansal was on Thursday appointed as the chairman and managing director of Air India for a second time. Bansal, a 1988 batch IAS officer of the Nagaland cadre, is currently the additional secretary in the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. The Appointments Committee of the Cabinet has approved his appointment as the CMD of Air India in the rank and pay of additional secretary. He replaces Ashwini Lohani, who has completed his one-year tenure as the head of the airline. Moving to international stories, the U.S. Senate has passed an Iran war powers resolution on Thursday to limit the U.S. President Donald Trump's ability to wage a war against Iran. The legislation aims to rein in his ability to use military action against Iran without congressional approval. 8 of Trump's fellow Republicans joined Democrats to pass the war powers resolution by 55 to 45. The measure would further require Trump to remove U.S. troops engaged in hostilities against Iran unless Congress declares war or passes a specific authorization for the use of military force. Opponents said the resolution's passage would send the wrong message to Tehran. On to sports. Hockey India congratulated men's hockey team captain Manpreet Singh for bagging the FIH Player of the Year award. Singh has become the first member of the Indian national team to win the Best Player award since the awards were initiated in 1999. He was up against Belgium's Arthur van Doren and Lucas Villa of Argentina, who finished second and third respectively. In 2019, as captain, he led his team to victory in the FIH Olympic qualifiers, thus securing a spot for the Olympic Games in Tokyo in 2020. The midfielder has also represented India at the London 2012 and Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition. Thanks for watching.